In this video, I'll show you the listing structure that I've used to sell over £500,000 worth of gaming PCs. I'll be using Facebook Marketplace, which has the best reach, but this will work on most marketplaces online. Hopefully you saw my last video about how to take the best photos of your PC to sell, because the photos are by far the most important part of your listing. I mean, what do you think made me click on your mum's OnlyFans? It wasn't the description. There's a link to that photography guide down in the description if you need a refresher. The beauty of a good listing is in its simplicity. So the title should simply say, Gaming PC. You can use this dividey thing, and then you just put in the name of the CPU and the GPU, and then something like high FPS on the end if you want, but I don't find that that helped. You could also put in a description like RGB or white, or black, just in case people are searching for particular things. Now for pricing, this is going to depend on many things. For a quick sale, you just want to price it slightly below everything else in the market. So if everything else in the market is 550, put it on a 500 easy. You should, like we said, take really nice photos, have a clean profile picture for your selling account, and a few other PCs for sale as well, because that's going to increase your credibility. I'm going to be using my company logo here, but for you, I'd just use your normal Facebook photo with a nice sort of clean background. People are less likely to spend money with you if you're smoking a J in the pic or something, so put something there that's at least professional, or you could even make a new account to just do this selling if you wanted. But back to pricing. Now, with a good profile, good photos, and a good listing, you could probably charge a bit more than the market rate, but the photos are going to have to be absolutely perfect, and even then it's going to take longer to sell. So up to you what you want to price it as, but obviously the lower you price it, the quicker it's going to sell. You'll obviously need to choose the correct listing categories. So, for example, this one, we're going to be putting it under electronics and desktop computers, but let's skip over this because it's really obvious stuff and I don't want to patronise you. The condition, obviously new, used, whatever. Be honest with this one. Let's just say used like new because it still looks great. Now, for the body of the description of the listing, let me tell you guys, most people don't read it. Those who do, they're going to read for a maximum of 15 seconds and then move on to the next listing or message you. So there's no point doing a super detailed post with a load of terms and conditions and other gumph in it because no one's going to read it. Keep it really simple. Gaming PC. Great for 1080p gaming. RGB lighting can be changed. Collection only. Oxford Street. Payment by PayPal. And then obviously make sure if there's any spelling errors that you're going back, checking those and correcting them. And you might also want to say, check out my other PCs for sale if you don't like this one. And that is the maximum I would be putting in there because, like I said, people just are not going to read this. So then you just want to list the full spec and use the actual parts that you use. Don't use some generic rubbish like generic B450 motherboard or anything. Put the actual spec in there. So let's skip ahead when that's actually done because there's no point you watching me type all this stuff in. So there we go, we've put the spec in. This is just an example, obviously, not selling this PC for real. But the other thing you could put in is about a warranty or a guarantee. So let me just say warranty included for 3 months, right? Basically, adding a warranty is actually going to make a huge difference because even a budget PC is quite a big purchase for a lot of people, so they need a bit of peace of mind that they know that if something goes wrong with it or it's not going to work, they have a bit of comeback, something to do about it. For your tags, just put in some generic tags like gaming PC, and then put all the different brands of things that are in there as well, because that might help attract people, and you can fill all that in yourself. That won't take very long, a couple of minutes just to put a few tags in there. It might help with search, it might not. Now for the location, you're going to put the nearest major town or city to get more clicks. So I don't actually live in Plymouth, I live in a really small village outside Plymouth, but if you're in the middle of Buttafuoco nowhere, people aren't going to want to click on that because they're not going to want to travel and all this stuff, and it's going to add a bit of friction. So actually you want to put in the nearest major town or city because it's going to show up in more people's search results. If people actually want your PC, they'll find a way to come and find you, or you can offer to bring it to them. This is going to help you get to more people. Now some people like to try and get ahead of customers' questions by writing here, which seems logical, like don't want to swap with a scooter, not interested in crypto, right? Or all these kind of things. And I agree, it's annoying when people don't read this. But like we said earlier, guys, people are going to read this for 15 seconds and then move on. So there is no use to you getting annoyed with people not reading it. So just leave this stuff out. People are going to message you with stupid questions. You're just going to have to accept it and answer the questions politely. You're also not going to convince them to change their ways either, and doing that is just a fool's errand. It's going to make you and them really annoyed. So suck it up, Answer the questions that they message you, even if it's really obvious from the listing, even if you've clearly listed what the CPU is and they ask what it is. Just be friendly and answer the question. It's just basic decency. Sometimes your prospective buyers will get really angry when they don't get what they want. For example, if they send you a really low ball offer and then you decline it, they get really annoyed. In this situation, guys, just stay professional and politely decline. If they continue to pester, just block them and move on. You're not going to win by getting into a shouting match or trying to argue with them. Now, when it comes time to sell, don't be naive. It's usually best to meet in a public place in the daytime, simply for security reasons. You don't want to get robbed or worse. You can send a video of the PC working beforehand if you want, and that's going to ease the buyer's worries, but just keep yourself safe. If the situation seems really dodgy, then just avoid it. For payments, I tend to only accept cash, bank transfer, or a secure service like PayPal or Venmo. If you use PayPal though, guys, remember there are fees involved in that. You should take that into account when you're doing your listing. You should take a photo of the PC with the customer in case they open a chargeback against you, because I've been on the other end of that. Also make a note of all the serial numbers of all the components inside as well, in case there's any dodgy business of swapping stuff out. It doesn't happen very often, but you can actually get scammed as the seller. And this might seem obvious, guys, but don't hand over any of the goods before money has changed hands and before you've checked that the money is genuine and the correct amount. If you need tips on how to photograph your PC for the maximum profit, guys, you've already made that video. See that linked down in the description. And there's nothing else for me to add to this video, so time for you to get selling, and you can tell me your tips down in the comments, as well as your success stories. And until the next one, I'll catch you.